thank you again so much for coming onto the show, Lisa and Bex. I'm so happy to have you here with me. Maybe to learn a little bit more about your project, you can start by telling us a little bit about it, and then we just go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having us as well. We're delighted to be here. So my name is Lisa. I'm the artist and co-founder on Mystic Sisterhood, and Bex is here with me too, the other co-founder. So Mystic Sisterhood is a generative project of 7,777 mystically inclined women, all hanging out on the Ethereum blockchain. And each mystic sister is, they approach mysticism in their own unique way, and they're represented that way with their own personalities. And it's really a project about creativity, wellness, and spirituality, and how they all kind of exist together. And it was developed out of a love for mysticism and art, and kind of the journey that the two of those things represent. And I suppose really the aim of the whole project is really brought together by the passion to support other people and artists and creatives in the community, because we don't all have the same opportunities. So it's about creating a project where we can really give back to people along the way, and I'm sure we can get more into that along the way too.
Of course. Awesome. Really love it. And we talked about, maybe you can also tell us a little bit more about your background as well and how you got into NFTs. This would be interesting as well.
Yeah, of course. So I kind of came on the scene. I'll start, I think, with my own artistic background, because it kind of all leads in. So I studied fine art in university for 4 years. I did printmaking and contemporary practice, so very far away from anything digital, very traditional artwork. But I never really took upon a career, afterwards, because sometimes with fine art, it's just hard, right? You kind of, you either kind of go hell for leather full into it, or maybe it doesn't work straight away, as a lot of artists can probably relate to. So I had a lot of different jobs along the way, retail mostly, but they were creative in their own ways. And I always just did it on the side, like little commissions here and there. Had did some exhibitions, but nothing major. And then I relocated to Toronto. My partner lives here.
Okay.
So he's also an artist, and we were in lockdown, right? So it was a new country in lockdown isolation, so it was eventful, but not eventful at the same time. And then, I was kind of in a creative block, because I did have all this time now to create art, but I almost had too much time. And so he actually gifted me an iPad to start. It's pretty amazing to start on my digital art journey. And I would like to say that it was, amazing from the start, but I was pretty frustrated with the fact that I wasn't amazing. I was like, I had this new technology, but I wasn't amazing straight away. But, it was definitely a journey. That's kind of where the art for Mystic Sisterhood came in, and sort of the idea. It was like, I was reaching out to friends, other creative friends and spiritually inclined friends, just for support that way. And they really helped me through those times. And that's kind of where the idea for the project came into fruition as well, and with Bex as well, once we met later on. But I guess I always drew women in my art. And I guess the reason, the sisterhood is because I grew up with just brothers, and I didn't have many women around. So any of the women I have in my life have been really supportive that way. So, it was kind of this idea of like all of these women who have a lot of intuition or spiritual or magical coming together just to hang out and share their ideas together. And there's no sort of right or wrong way of doing anything. It's just like finding your people, I suppose. And that's kind of how it developed, really, from the art, from traditional into digital, and kind of where the idea came from. And then that's really where Bex comes in as well.
Nice.
I'll jump in here. So my NFT journey really started probably in September of 2021. I was lightly in it before that. I really got into it during the pandemic, which I feel a lot of people probably did. Had a
For
lot of
sure.
time, a lot of research, that kind of thing. But I was very lightly in it and then kind of fully jumped in September. And I had been working on various different creative projects. And the team that I was working with actually happened to include Lisa's partner, which is awesome. And they had approached me at one point and they said like, oh, hey, we have this artist who wants to create a project. We want to really help them create this project, make it a reality. We think you'd be really interested to be on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, like, why do you think that? And they were like, oh, it's about mysticism. And I was like, oh, okay, like, sign me up. Let's get on a call. I want to talk to her, that kind of thing. And so we hopped on a call and Lisa and I clicked right away. And it was like we knew each other forever. And we just talked for a really, really long time. And then we continued to talk every single day. And we just aligned on how we thought the project should come about, what we wanted it to mean for the community and for the art and that kind of thing. And we just made it happen. And here we are.
That's interesting. Yeah, a really nice way of meeting and connecting, I guess. And yeah, we just started talking about the team. Maybe you can also talk about the other team members, what other team members you have on the team, and who is responsible for what parts of the project, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. So there's 8 of us in total. You have Lisa and I, who are the co-founders, and Lisa's obviously the artist and made it a reality. But we also have Boogie and Turner, who are our EPs, our executive producers, and they're the ones that kind of keep us sane, but also are the ones that help make this project a reality. And we also have Data, who is like a complete wizard with all things informational, handled our QA testing like an absolute boss, and is also one that helped us create the rarity chart and is the person if we're like, we have numbers questions we could go to. We have Cody, who is our kind of like multimedia mastermind and helps us take our content to the next level for anything that we want to put out on socials, such as like GIFs and videos that are all personalized for our brand and that sort of thing. He's also just like the nicest human being you will ever meet in your entire life, like a ball of sunshine. And then we also have Panda and Casey, who are our incredible devs who helped create the website, helped make sure the minting process on the website was as seamless as possible, and also was the one that made our amazing optimized smart contract.
Okay, nice. Sounds good. You're quite a big team. I think it's good to have people or around you who are part of it. It's easier when you're, I think, a bigger team and have a stronger vision and stuff like that. Talking about the team, maybe we can also talk about the timeline of the project. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about when you started working on the art and when you guys started building a community, when was the mint and stuff like that. Maybe, a little bit more about this one.
Yeah, of course. I love this question because in NFT land, it feels like, you know, I'm willing to say in my brain, I'm like, it's definitely been about 4 years, right? But it's I believe end of October is when we started. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bex, but that's what I have.
I think I joined in November. So you guys had like, I think at like the very end of October, you guys had started, been like a week or so, and then you jumped in. Yeah.
We had, and you know, and as you were saying, describing the team, they are, just really quickly want to say they are really amazing. You know, we are women-led, but we have these amazing guys who are so supportive, and any ideas we come to them, you know, they always talk them out with us and see what they can do best to kind of, they've really propelled us, you know, forward with this project. They're great. So I want to say, that timeline would be October into November. The art really started before then because I was obviously working on this anyway, but I never saw it as an NFT. It was, I kind of had it in my mind to do something like an exhibition or something. So it kind of maneuvered its way into things that way. And then we just worked through concept art and ideas, and the two things that are the most important to us all the way through were obviously the art and meaning behind it, and also the community, because it's a huge part of this project. It's, you know, we're nurturing this warm community of people that we want to always, you know, feel safe. Our Discord has been described as is it a cozy blanket fort, Bex? People say? Yeah, we take great pride in that. And you know, it's like, it's amazing to see people coming in now when we have quite a few people in there, but you know, we remember the days when it was just us, you know, and maybe one other person, and we're like, hey, you know, and it's important, I think, to really look back on those days and appreciate all those smaller moments as well along the journey, because, you know, that's what makes the whole experience, is like, you know, reflecting on it and see how much you've grown and how much the community itself has grown. And it's been amazing to see them all kind of come into the Discord or Twitter, and they're so supportive. They really are. And it's, when you go on Twitter and you see your community sharing your stuff for you or trying to hype you up, it's like the nicest feeling ever, because it's like they can feel your passion behind it as well. So yeah, the art, I can share some of the original art and the concept work if you like. I do have some of those here.
Yeah, of course, let's do that. Yeah, so if you can share your screen maybe.
Yeah, bear with me.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Let me know if you can see this okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
Cool. So yeah, originally, like you'll see here, everything started on paper. This was like even pre-iPad, you know. This actually, I think I might have had the iPad, but I was a little bit allergic to it. So I was you know, this was like I had the apartment covered in, at one point I was printmaking. I was just trying to really gather concepts together.
What media was it? Kind of, what was it? Paint or water paint, or?
It's just black ink.
Black ink. Okay.
Yeah, just washed down on brown paper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then like these are some of the very early things. Like this was before I even knew, you know, we didn't even have a title or anything. This was just some things. And then we had some, you know, some things like this.
Yeah, I like this one as well. It looks like it reminds me of tattoo art as well, because of the lines and stuff. Looks really nice. Nice hands.
Yeah. Definitely. And there was a lot of Victorian kind of, so obviously I grew up in Ireland, and I grew up around a lot of mythical stories, and I was always really interested in that. So I'm always drawn back to that kind of thing. So you can see here, like this is my hometown. This is one of the cats. So like, nice. You know, yeah. So this is like, I think Bex will probably remember this. It was like the first concept sketch for them. Yeah, so it's like, it's pretty cool looking back, right? Yeah. And this was just like, you know, bringing this to the team, being like, I think I want to do something like this. And then it really developed from there. And then I do have I kept all the sketchbook pages because I think it's pretty good to do that. So, you know, fleshing out some of the hairstyles that we wanted to have. We have here, like, this is like the workings of some of the headpieces, like the flower crown, the color palette, and kind of more the magical kind of elements there. We have like our owl, our mystic owl, who has like...
Looks nice.
Yeah, he has like a little Celtic knot.
Also the eyes look really nice.
Yeah, he's I'm pretty partial to that. And then there's little hidden things, quite, you know, in a lot of it. So in here on one of the potion bottles, it's got some OM writing, which is OM for NFT. So I just kind of wanted to put that in as a little tiny, you know, something there.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's just really a look through like the inner workings, and obviously the moon is a huge part of.
Yeah, I love the
Uh,
moon. And also the
yeah,
colors, the kind of pastel colors with the moon, right?
yeah. I just wanted to be, you know, it to be quite washed out. This,
Hmm.
when I look at the moon now, I'm like, oh, because I remember, you know, it started like this, right? You know, like
Yeah.
pretty basic. And I
Hmm.
remember being like, I can do this. And then when it came to actually doing it, it took me a couple of days to get it
Yeah.
perfect. But, you know, I'm glad now looking back that I did. And then I have some, I don't know if these will play now for you, but I
Hmm.
took some time lapses
Oh,
of, so you
wow.
can see,
That
yeah, you
looks
can see
really
like the fine lines and everything. You know, there's been quite a lot of
lots
work
of
put into
details. Yeah.
It's so soothing to watch.
Yeah, it's really calm, relaxing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many different traits are there? I'm sure it's a lot, right? But like it would be
Yeah.
interesting, or maybe do you know that, or can we talk about this?
Yeah, of course. There's in total there's 283 traits.
Wow, that's a
I
lot.
believe. Yeah, and I probably would have kept going only for
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
we have to have a stopping point.
Yeah.
But it was great to have you know, when you're thinking of something like mysticism,
Mhm.
it's a big topic, right? It's
Mm.
so vast and everyone's different. So there were times when it was like, wait, do we just want to do this particular part of
Mhm.
mysticism? Or, and then with discussions with myself and Bex, we decided, you know, to try and represent as many different things as we could. We can never represent everything, but,
Of
you know, you
course.
can always do your best. Um, and I know like we have crystals, we have tarot, we have incense,
Mm.
some magics, there's witchy vibes going on. And it definitely wasn't just myself, like the concept and the starting point definitely, but there's been many conversations with Bex and the team where it's like, you know, does this work or
Mm.
is this okay? And like, there's a lot of work that goes into deciding what you want to feature and
Mm.
maybe how many colors you want to have, things like
Mm.
that. So there was definitely, it was definitely a long journey that way, but it's necessary, I think, to spend that time
Mhm.
and give yourself that time at the end as well, where you can really quality assess everything and make sure you're 100% with what you're putting out there.
Of course.
Mhm.
So did you also eliminate stuff, or did you say, or how was it like along the way? Was it also sometimes some discussions to work it out the other way, or did you have also some conflicts along the way, or I don't know, was there something like this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
No.
think we've ever had any conflict. Only, no, never. I think
Okay.
the only thing we ever eliminated, I think we only ever eliminated maybe one hairstyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was just down to me being like, artistically, I was like, I hate it, you know, but
Yeah.
everyone else like,
We were like, we
um,
like it.
you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're all like, we like it. And I was like, I can't even look
Yeah.
at it anymore, you know.
Okay.
So,
I know we
um,
had written down like a bunch of different concepts, but it was one of those that when it came to elimination and that sort of thing, we
Mhm.
would try to eliminate things before she started working on them. So we weren't wasting her time at all.
Okay.
But I think there were a couple of things where we were like, oh, should we get rid of this? Should we keep it? Whatever. We'd
Mm.
have like group discussions about it. But
Okay.
in the end, we pretty much kept almost everything, I think.
Okay. Okay.
yeah. And there was a few things as well where we genuinely all as a team got pretty excited about them. Like we have a WAGMI tank top, and it's underneath it says like, it's like our slogan. It's like, we are going to manifest it. And
Yeah. True.
when that came into fruition, we were very, very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Whole
it
team's
as
like,
well.
"Why me?" Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the we all gonna make it, to be honest. Yours sounds better.
We're gonna manifest
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We'll make ours a thing. We'll get that trending.
Yeah.
So when did you start with the minting, and then maybe you can also talk about the collection size and the mint
Mhm.
price.
Yeah. So we were going to mint in December.
Mm-hmm.
But we decided as a team that we wanted to focus on organic marketing, no paid marketing, that sort of thing. And we had to kind of respect the fact that it takes a little bit more time to do organic marketing, but it's worth it. So we decided then to launch on January 17th, which is what we did. And we're still minting. It's 0.05 ETH. And we've kind of just been steadily minting since launch, which is great. We are a collection of 7,777 mystical sisters. And we didn't even have like a pre-sale or anything like that. It was a public launch. We wanted it to be like even playing field for everybody. And we're really, really glad with the approach that we took, just because with the organic marketing, our community has been so amazing and so strong. And like, Lisa mentioned it earlier, when you walk in, people are like, it feels like a blanket fort when I walk in here. Like you go in and everybody's just so warm and inviting and welcoming. And there's people with like various different interests, and everybody has like their own little corner that they go and like talk about things, but they also just like all meet up and hang out and chat. So it's really, really great. And we're just so excited about it. We just love it.
Yeah, I think building a community from scratch takes time, and it's also the most rewarding thing, I believe, because I mean, when you do some marketing or paid marketing and stuff like that, it probably brings you people who are trying to maybe flip or make some money off the NFT, and it's not, I think, something which you're looking after, and it's not so very sustainable. But like the space is growing so quickly, and you need some time to establish a well-known brand, and I think that's what you're doing, and I really like that. So we can share this project right after the interview as well, and I hope we can bring some attention to it. How I found you guys is actually through Betty from Deadfellas, because she was Betty. I think she liked the project and was in the Discord as well, and that's how I found out about it as well.
Yeah, we love Betty.
Yeah, she's pushing the space and really supporting projects she likes.
She's the best.
Yeah, she's very supportive.
Yeah,
she's great. Amazing.
Did you have some talks with her, or how?
No, I don't think any personal.
She came into our Discord though.
Yeah. No, but I mean, before I think she found us organically, which was amazing, and we were just like, oh, Betty, like, oh, Betty, because we adore Betty, but we adore Betty from afar. We are like that kind of thing, and so then we saw that she had liked the project, and then she joined the Discord and was just like the sweetest human being ever. And we're just very, very thankful to have her in the community.
Yeah, of course, always nice to have other cool people on the team or in the community. And how about, is there a roadmap on your end, or can you maybe talk a little bit about this one?
Yeah, if it helps, I can bring up the roadmap as a visual while we talk about it. Cool. I'm a tech wizard now.
Look at you go.
We go. Okay.
Who is she?
Maybe I spoke too soon. So this is our beautiful website. We also launched on a full moon, was it? Or a new moon? Full moon.
There's so many moons out there. I can't even.
So many.
All the moons.
We are going to the moon. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. This is actually a really good visual to describe how we see the community and the project, you know. So we have our Mystic banner, which is where we all hang out. And we've got our creativity corner, spirituality, sanctuary, and wellness way, which all ties into the roadmap that I'll go down to here. That's Bex's little face there. So this is our roadmap. So obviously we're approaching our halfway point, which is incredible, because, you know, we're growing organically. So it's amazing for us. So we already did our AMA, which went amazing. We were so happy with that. And we did our 7 Mystic Sisters were released. We did a live draw on our Discord. It was super fun.
So
and
fun.
People were there to watch.
Live draw. Yeah, was it? Okay, cool. See,
yeah, everybody was like super hype in the chat, and like some of the people that were watching ended up being one of the ones that got the sisters. So everybody was like, just like screaming.
Was it like a one-on-one art piece, or how can I
it was
understand
it was like 7 random sisters, and so we did random draws for holders, and so 7 random holders received a new Mystic Sister.
Okay, understood. Yeah. Cool, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And so, when we get to the 50% point, we'll have an original one-on-one piece for somebody. And we have something else also planned that we can't reveal just yet, but it's a nice prize for the community that we think they'll really, really love.
Okay.
And then at 75%, we will be doing a 5 donation to community voted charity. We do have a couple of options that we've sourced out. We're very, very excited about that element, of course, as well. And it'll be great to give back at that point, before we get to 100%. And then our 100% point is the beginning of the Mystic Sisterhood Creative Hub, which we've already put a lot of prep into behind the scenes. So we're just kind of, once we get to that, we can go full steam ahead, but I'll try and... so the hub is basically, it's a lot of prep. It's essentially, it's going to be a place for people to go to get support, funding, art therapy, or just like an escape from daily life. And it obviously comes from everything we've just talked about, the struggles of maybe being creative or just life in general. And as we know, like during the last 2 years, everybody's had their own experiences where, they've gone through different things. So it's just about all coming together and having this place where people can go and we can give back. So, we have the Mystic Sisterhood Fund, which is going to be a great attribute for people to come and, we'll have a thing where we can give back and purchase NFTs from artists within the community, because we're really, really big on that. Not everybody has a project or a team behind them, or maybe a good following, and I think it's great to support and give back and give somebody just that little push that they might need. It just sometimes just takes one person or one buyer or one retweet or whichever, but in this case we just want to purchase and give back that way. Cool. Is there anything, Bex, I'm missing here on this part?
No, you pretty much covered it. The fun for ourselves is really we want it just so we can give back directly to the community and support upcoming artists. That's like the major thing for us.
That's nice.
And then things like art supplies and scholarships or courses and things like that, where it could be a course for yourself for digital drawing, or it could be something as simple as like you're a mom or a parent and you have kids and you'd like to do a course to help them with arts and crafts. Like there's no kind of endpoint with it. It's whatever we can do to really give back and support creativity in a way that helps people. We have a mentorship program that we're working on. That we will be working on more as well.
It's not necessarily financially, it's more so about creating a supportive and caring community who supports maybe artists and other creative people to maybe kickstart a project, to connect, maybe to get a mentor and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important for us because we will be able to like obviously help out in a financial way with like scholarships and that sort of thing. But with the mentorship program especially, that is where we want people to be able to connect with others that might have more experience or experience in areas that they don't necessarily understand. And that's where they can just share that knowledge and really both grow as creatives and feel more confidence in the space and that sort of thing, and really be able to take their creative ideas and make those projects a reality because they feel like they have the support and the knowledge to do that.
Love it. Because I think like sometimes it's difficult in this space to connect, and if you offer a platform of any kind to connect with the I don't know, maybe a developer or with another artist or someone you seek help from, then I think it's very, very good and helpful for lots of people. So I love it with the Creativity Hub and the Sisterhood Fund.
Yeah, we're so excited about that. Like, we probably talk about it a couple of times a day, to be honest, because
Yeah, we do.
yeah, you know, it's a big, obviously we've got so many things that we can't say at the moment that, you know, are going to maybe pop up here and there, and we know our community are going to be very, very excited about them too. But the whole aim, as I said before, is to build this project and continuously give back in ways, you know, it could be financial support, or it could just be being able to talk to somebody for half an hour to, you know, sometimes that's all it takes, is that one supportive conversation. So I think really, really big things are going to come out of this.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
Is it ready when, so it's starting at 100%, right? So,
Yeah, we're already working on some things behind the scenes to try and prep up for it. Once we hit 100, it might take a little bit of time because we do have to like develop the site and that sort of thing.
Okay.
But there are things like, there is a section of the Creative Hub that we have that's the collective, which is going to be a resource center for people, whether it's like aid for creative block or workshops or business advice for people that are getting in the space, or art tutorials and that sort of thing. And so we're already working with connecting with other creatives that might be able to help provide those resources. So we're already taking the steps. So once we hit 100, we can really start going. But it will take a little bit of time to set up, but we are definitely already working on it for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be great. There are things that we definitely have in line, and we have we actually have a wellness advisor. It's her name is Leanne. We've hinted and dropped a few things in our Discord, just like meditation and yoga, and she's been great to kind of chat back and forward with her to see if there's things that we could do to help people who are maybe, you know, working at a computer all day or working on their own kind of thing. So there's a lot of elements, but they do come together collectively, and they work in harmony together for sure.
Sounds good. I'm excited to see it launch and come to fruition. Is there anything else you would like to share about the project which we haven't talked about yet, or?
We could mention the one-of-ones that are hidden within the collection if we wanted to, because I know our community members get very excited about those.
Yeah, they do.
And anytime I do a space or a thing, I can see some of them in the audience listening, because they know I'm like trying not to give any spoilers. So
you'll like mention the one-of-ones and they're like 100, just like hitting on them.
But you know, just before I came on, I did have to double check my images, because I was like, I hope I don't share any of the
private.
Imagine if you spoil one of them.
Imagine
an exclusive.
All of the one-of-ones have been revealed on this interview. I do want to shout out Bex for a second as well here with me, because she does a lot of our writing and our content, and I know she hates when I do this, but I have to give her props, you know, because she's an incredible writer. And
that's also,
you know, when
very
we
important.
And when we started to share our Mystic Sisters, you know, teasing them, she wrote all the taglines and gave them their personality, and people really resonated with them as well. So that's been a huge factor for us. So we have 7 one-of-ones within the collection, and they're 7 really, really magical Mystic Sisters. 3 have been revealed so far.
Okay.
And you can see here, this is Ezra. This is one of them. And this is like her little intro and a little story about her. So they're completely unique to all the rest. And then we have, this is Amaris. So they have like different backgrounds and different traits and everything. And then this was the first one that was revealed, Adelia. So as you can see, Bex is like writing above, and then
love the background like, with the trees.
She's she might be one of my favorites, but I'm actually trying. There is one in there that's my favorite for a particular reason, and the story behind them. But when she pops up, I will reveal that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying very hard.
You're trying so hard. I can feel it. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
is like here's the 7 with their silhouettes, so you can kind of see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Every time one gets revealed, we'll like post the frame photo and be like, okay, this many have been revealed, and these are the ones that still need to be found.
They're
that kind of thing. So
in the mints, right? So they
yeah.
yeah, I mean, from my experience with projects minting and stuff like that, in the end, when we near the end, it goes very fast. So since I think we're at like 50%, 60, or yeah,
We're almost at 50, yeah.
yeah, so almost at 50. I think the last half should go quicker. So excited to see the others reveal.
I know,
Yeah.
we're really excited.
Yeah.
Everybody can't wait. They're like, I check every day to see if one's been found.
yeah, it's exciting, and we have lots of plans for things, you know, going forward and things along the way, up to 100%. But we'd love to be able to share them, but we can't. I know that's a terrible thing to say.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a teasing, but you know, the excitement and the passion is there within the team and the community as well. You know, it's great.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do Twitter Spaces on a regular basis, or how does it work?
So we've been lucky enough to be featured in a few. We do have one tomorrow, Tuesday at 11 a.m. With Boss Girls, and then there's a few collaborations coming up where, you know, we don't have our own that we do as a slot or anything. We've kind of tried to collab with people, and kind of, because that's a great way to make connections as well, and just bring light on other projects and not just our own. So
yeah, that's really good to bring communities together from different projects, and also help both maybe grow. I think Twitter Spaces and in general going out, speaking to the public, to the collectors, helps the project go. And I think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, they're very enjoyable too. I mean, I suppose we have two kind of elements that we've been doing, where we do a more creative space, and then I know Bex has done a tarot space, and you know, we've done a space with crystals and spirituality. So it's just a variation of things, and talking as much as we can.
Yeah, that's part of Twitter Spaces, I guess. But mostly they're going on when I'm sleeping, so it's kind of hard because the music plays in the US, I guess, regarding NFTs. But I hope it will change over time.
We'll have like a super degen hours for us. You'll be able to pop in.
Do you have advice for other projects, or what do you think is something you need to do to be successful? And maybe you can talk us a little bit more about this one.
Yeah, sure. I think we probably both have different areas of advice. I think
probably.
which is great. I think mine would be, if you are going to, as an artist, if you're going to do a collection, look into it as much as you can first. Look into what you need to do in terms of, you know, QA and layering and things, because you need to kind of assess as you're drawing, like, what will work if it's generative, what will work on top of each other in placements and things, and scope out your time that way, so that, as Beck said earlier, you're not wasting your time, but you're planning that way. Again, as an artist, I would say my one bit of advice is there are so many projects out there, and you might see something that's slightly like yours, or, you know, a variation of yours or something. It's definitely an artist thing where you can be consumed by everyone else's art. So I would always say, like, try not to soak it in too much and stay true to your own style, because your people will find you, and people who like your art will be drawn to you. You don't need to change yourself for anyone else or any collector or anything like that. Stay true to yourself that way. Easier said than done sometimes.
True.
But that's when you can reach out to people and have those discussions. And I think my other bit of advice would be to just really get to know your community, make friends with them, and they'll stand by you as well.
Love it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I honestly,
what do you think,
I have like,
Bex?
What do I think? For me, one of the major things definitely is like as a project, for anybody who's looking to do a project, I think community is absolutely key for your project. It's what makes you like once you're launched everything, it's what keeps you going. It's something that you become the most proud of. It's new friends and creatives that are in there. It's amazing. It's you take care with building up your community the way that you want. You really get to know your members. And I just think communities are just so important to this space and to each project. So I think that taking care to build those communities right is very, very important. Also, just like for creative advice, when developing your projects, I think it's really, really easy to come up with a million different ideas. And I think for people, it's important to know that it's okay to not use those ideas. And it's okay to don't be afraid to take a step back and go back to the basics and be like, okay, well, now I can do these in a different way because I'm coming at them now with new knowledge and new experience. And it's okay to not do everything that you work on. Because it all gives you knowledge and experience that makes it so when you go back to the core base of your project or your idea or something like that, that you come at it in like a very new, fresh way that makes it stronger than it was before. And then I think the last piece of advice I have is just for individuals in this space in general, which would be that it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to take breaks. Like NFT Twitter and Discord and everything like that and new projects, they're all going to be there when you get back. They're all going to be there when you get back. And it's important to do what's best for you and not burn yourself out. And that's really easy to do in a space like this where time seems to move very quickly. So I think it's just important for people to know, take care of yourself. It's okay to take a step back and everybody will be here when you get back.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely.
I loved what Lisa said in the beginning, that you need to stay true to your art style and what we can see in the NFT community. At some point, like one project looks like another and they are super similar, have almost identical traits. And I like that you're have the thinking or support that you shouldn't maybe follow someone else, but more so what you your own creativity. So this one is very big. And what you said as well, Bex, regarding community building, that it's important that you take your time there and build a engaging and caring community. But this is also something hard I've figured, since it takes some time, and maybe you can also answer on what's an important thing to do in the very beginning when you're like, I don't know, let's say day number 1 or first week. How would you go about it to start building a community? That's a tricky one, I think.
Yeah, and you know what? It can be super intimidating as well, because for me, when I looked at the NFT space from afar, and I started to kind of maneuver into it as an artist, I was like, yeah, okay, this is cool, I could do, and our team gave us this opportunity, we all pulled together and it was great. But when you take that step into it, it suddenly becomes huge.
Of
like
course.
It suddenly just, you feel so small, right? You're like, oh, okay. I think the one thing I would say is like make friends and connections with other projects as well, because you're all in this together in this huge space, and you can all help and support each other. And things like, you see those threads where it's like, tag a project that you like or that you want to support, and it's little small things like that that really make a difference. Or if you heard somebody in a space that you really resonated with, speak, if their DMs are open, and if they are open to it, you can always just be like, I really enjoyed hearing you speak today, or tiny things like that. I think definitely help along the way. And I think just knowing on day one what type of community you want to nurture and you want to invite in is really important. There does come a point, I think, where you can't control every aspect of it, but once you have your main kind of belief and what you want to put out there, and all you can do is your best and stick by that, and people will follow along with you. I think that would be maybe my advice there.
Yeah, I think it's like with every business, or even with your circle of friends. I mean, you resonate, and I don't know how to say it in a kind of like a metaphor or something, but you attract people who are maybe thinking the same and have the same values and stuff like that. And I think even though we are sitting in different corners around the world, we still can connect and feel how maybe you are thinking, and I don't know, it's still yeah.
Yeah, I think absolutely, and it's all about those connections. I mean, one of the things, even with our Discord, is like, you know, we have a lot of new people to NFTs in there who came in from the start, and it was like we always try to take care to walk them through things. If, you know, I'm still new, so Bex does a lot of the walking through things for people. She's incredible at that, and the team as well. But even things like, you know, she made a server guide for people when they come in. You know, you can look through that and see, like, if you're not familiar with Discord, you can take your time, because it's so overwhelming at times to come into a space like that. And it's like doing little things like that for your community or your Discord. One of the things that we did at the very, very start, when it was maybe just ourselves showing up, as we did like movie nights, and we would just host movie nights and see if people would come in, and it was like, I don't know, I think just small things like that. Bex, you might have something to add, but I think that's my kind of 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I think when starting out and you're building a community from scratch, essentially, I think one of the most important things, especially in regards to a Discord, is making a space that is one that you would want to hang out in. Like, that's the biggest thing, because you're going to be hanging out in it a lot. So make one that you want to hang out in, and then as like the first people in that space, start putting in content. Start using the channels as they should be used, so anybody new who comes in knows exactly like how things are going, what the vibe is already, that sort of thing. They can pick up on it really easily, and it's not kind of like a quiet server. And then also just in regards to Twitter and Discord and that sort of thing, just be authentic, just be yourselves. People can tell if you're not being genuine. And I think just putting out content the way that you want to, that you know is the vibe of your project and what you want your community to be, is so important, because if people connect with that and they're like, oh, like that's a bit of me, that kind of thing, then they'll join your Discord, or they'll start following you on Twitter and start interacting with you. And that's when you start getting those people in your community that are already on your wavelengths, because of the fact that they have really connected with the content that you're putting out there. So I think just right from the get-go, knowing what your voice is and knowing what you want your community to be, and then just going for it right from the get-go. So when people jump in, they're like able to just acclimate and like know already before joining a community what they're going to get.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. Lisa and Bex, thank you so much for taking up your time. It was amazing talking to you. I had so much fun. And
so good.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. I'll let you know when it's out, and then we can share it through social media and stuff. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening, yeah?
All right. Thank
Talk
you so
soon.
much.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.